Salutations! I just watched Gabriel. The first time I watched this movie, I fell asleep, and then I did a rough review, and I thought to myself afterwards, that's probably not fair to the movie. So I watched it again. I almost fell asleep again. But I managed to stay awake, and it got worse scores than it did when I fell asleep. This movie is a clear reminder of how shitty movies can be. Gabriel from 2007 should have been titled, Angels Find Out It Sucks Being Human. So let's jump into the scores. For character development, I gave it an overall score of 3 out of 10. And of course, I broke that down into acting and character writing. The acting got a 2 out of 10. Not even Andy Whitfield saved this movie. Thank God for Spartacus, because if this was my only exposure to Whitfield, I probably wouldn't have liked him very much as an actor. But thank God for Spartacus, because that's a legacy that Whitfield left behind. Andy Whitfield was amazing in Spartacus. This movie was trash. Anyway, moving on, character writing got a 3 out of 10, because this was terrible writing. It was written so badly the actors couldn't even make it interesting. It was freaking garbage. I thought this was a horror movie because it's on an action horror trilogy thing, the Fallen Angel collection, and ooh, it was a horror to behold. It wasn't overly good on the action side of things. Anyway, back to the scores. So the story development, I gave an overall score of 4 out of 10. I broke this down, of course, into continuity, completeness, plot, and engagement. So story development got a 4 out of 10 overall. The continuity, again, got the highest score because it started out crap, and it continued to be crap until the very end where it was just garbage. Continuous stream of shit for almost 2 hours. The completeness of the story got a 4 out of 10 because they gave you a rough idea of what was going on, and then just started plugging weird shit in left and right. It's pretty pointless. The plot got a 2 out of 10 because it made absolutely no sense. There was barely any plot to this movie, and it was the most predictable bullshit I have seen in a very long time. Honestly, this is bad. So naturally, I gave the engagement a 1 out of 10. Originally, when I fell asleep, I gave the engagement a 2 out of 10. I felt that wasn't fair, and so I went and watched it again, and it got a lower score. It lost points on the rewatch, because I actually caught all of the crap that was in this movie, and I gotta tell you, sleeping through this movie was probably the best choice I ever made. This movie was worse than Creature, and I hated that movie. The writing, naturally, got a 1 out of 10, because that was terrible. Overall, terrible. And on this one, I didn't know how woke it was because it was so dumb, so I didn't even give it a score there. I substituted my points with cinematography and directing, which got a 1 out of 10. This movie would have been better had you done it in claymation with, like, Wallace and Gromit style shit. It was terrible. The fight scenes were bad. The character design was stupid as hell. I know it was 2007, but they've been making cooler designs on evil angels since, like, the 60s than what I saw in this movie. Contact lenses? Really? Overall, the entertainment value on this got a 22%. That's a 22 out of 100 points. Yeah. I included the other 20 points in this review because I felt like it needed a boost, and you know what? It didn't help. 22 out of 100. Congratulations, Gabriel 2007. You are the first receiver of certified trash. This movie was so bad. It's one of the most retarded movies, one of the most boring movies I've ever seen in my life. It's shit. So let's get into some of it, okay? Earth equals purgatory, and the arcs come down from heaven to battle the fallen from hell, and they become human-ish, except for the blue glowing eyes for the angels and the red weird yellow eyes for the demons. And then there's Samael / Michael, who turns out to be has white eyes. Okay. He was supposedly the greatest archangel in history, and then he swaps sides to pretend to be Samael, the greatest of the fallen angels. And then what does he do? What does he do? He tries to convince Gabriel to join him, and he's like, "Love me, brother." And Gabriel's like, "No." And he shoots him a bunch of times in the chest, and then, of course, the fallen angel dies, and then all the fallen angels are dead, and except for the whore angel, Amatio, I think it was. She was a junkie whore angel. She gets to survive, but Gabriel kills Michael, and then he throws himself off a building because he thinks God wants him to commit suicide. It was retarded. Why is this shifted? I don't know why the camera shifted, but whatever. I wasn't paying attention enough. Anyway, so there was no engagement with the narrative, no engagement with the characters. The ending was absolutely retarded with him committing suicide. The plot was basically, boo-hoo! Ooh, I'm an angel. God became human. I feel bad. I'm gonna kill things, including myself. That's how I kind of felt after watching this movie.
You felt it the second you arrived in here.
I also don't like the fact that they call Gabriel Gabe. They modernize it and, whatever. But that's a personal thing. It's just stupid. The best actor in this was Henry Pavlidis. Yeah, I totally butchered that. Wow. He played Uriel. He was the drunk, angry, fallen archangel who made some poor life choices as a human.
Where no goddamn voices or feelings or anything else can get at him. It's the burden of being real. Mortal. They didn't tell us, Gabe, what it would be like.
He was the best one. The bad guys looked way too ridiculous to take seriously. The fight scenes were terribly done. I mean, the cinematography and the special effects on those fight scenes were garbage.
Whenever you're ready.
Like I said, Creature was better than this from 2011. And I freaking hate that movie. I'll never watch this movie again. And to be 110% honest, if this wasn't on the same disc as Priest, I would microwave it. And just no more shit Gabriel movie in my house. But I can't, because it's on the same disc as Gabriel in the Fallen Angel collection, and as Priest. Gabriel is on the same disc as Priest. What am I thinking? I would microwave Gabriel. So bad. Anyone who says this movie is good just because Andy Whitfield's in it, it's a moron. This was terrible. Andy Whitfield was terrible in this. I love Andy Whitfield as an actor. He has amazing range for emotion, amazing range for emotion, and he was an amazing actor, and he could deliver it, and he could hook you in, and this movie was trash. Certified 100% trash. If you liked this review, please like, subscribe, and share. And, as always, I hope you have a wonderful day. Stop it. Ah! Anyway. Let's try this again, shall we? Jeez. Now that I figured that out, it's still rotating. I don't understand. Why you do? I hope that holds a little better. Anyway, Uriel, the alcoholic... Okay. Stop moving. Struggle, boss. Draw. Okay, fine. You want to rotate like that? I'll rotate the whole mount. You piece of shit. Anyway,